Japan has reported cutting its food waste in half, 8 years ahead of schedule. Welcome to ESG Japan Daily. I'm Mireya. Today we look at how Japan became the first nation in the world to report a 52% reduction in food loss, earning global praise and raising questions about what comes next. According to official data released by the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, the Ministry of the Environment, and the Consumer Affairs Agency, Japan achieved a 52% overall reduction in national food loss compared to the year 2000, reaching SDG Target 12.3 well before the 2030 deadline. Here's how the numbers break down. Business sector down 57% since 2000. Households down 46%. Combined, total food loss fell from 9.8 million tons in 2000 to less than 4.7 million tons in 2022. That milestone was officially announced on June 24, 2024, but first reported by the Yomiuri Shimbun a few days earlier, reflecting how closely Japan's progress is followed both at home and abroad. Behind this success is Japan's meticulous data collection. Over 200 municipalities conduct waste composition surveys, while private businesses submit reports through coordinated systems led by the three ministries. And now, Japan has strengthened its 2030 targets even further, aiming for a 60% reduction in business sector food loss and 50% at the household level. Japan's progress has received international recognition from major organizations leading the global food loss agenda. At the latest meeting of Champions 12.3, a coalition driving progress toward SDG Target 12.3, Japan was singled out as a model performer. Their 2025 progress report states, quote, Japan is the first country to report having reduced national-level food loss by more than 50%. Based on 2022 data, Japan achieved a 46% reduction in household food loss and 57% in business activities, a total of 52%. Following this achievement, the government strengthened its 2030 goals to 60% and 50% respectively. This recognition highlights Japan's systematic, data-driven approach to food loss reduction. The UN Environment Programme's 2024 Food Waste Index report also praises Japan, particularly for something many countries lack: consistent long-term data. Since 2008, Japan has published annual estimates based on municipal waste analyses. Some municipalities even measure edible portions in food waste, allowing the government to calculate national figures for edible food discarded, a level of detail most countries don't have. UNEP highlights that Japan's steady reporting creates a time series dataset that enables real tracking of progress, a foundation other nations can learn from. But not all observers are celebrating unconditionally. Experts note that Japan's baseline year, 2000, represents a peak in national food loss. That means the 52% cut was measured against unusually high starting levels, making the goal easier to reach than if Japan had used a more recent baseline, such as 2015, the year the SDGs were adopted. By contrast, many European countries use backcasting, setting targets based on recent years or pre-SDG benchmarks, which are already lower. The UK, for example, uses 2007 as its baseline, making its 50% reduction goal more challenging. So, while Japan's achievement is real, the degree of difficulty is different. Even with this progress, Japan's fight against food loss is not complete. Three ministries, the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, MAF, the Ministry of the Environment, MOE, and the Consumer Affairs Agency, CAA, have led most of the national effort. They co-host events like the Let's Start Motainai Fest and support the National Food Loss Reduction Conference. But experts argue that food loss isn't just an environmental issue, it's economic, educational, and social. To go further, Japan needs stronger collaboration with MITI, the Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry, to accelerate digital tracking systems such as electronic tagging across convenience stores, MEXT, the Ministry of Education, to modernize school policies and integrate food waste awareness into education, and MHLW, the Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare, to align food safety and food bank policies. Without these ministries fully engaged, Japan risks plateauing. hitting numbers, but missing transformation. Japan's 52% reduction demonstrates when a country combines data discipline, multi-stakeholder collaboration, and a cultural mindset like motenai, it can make measurable progress. But it also reveals a tension that every nation faces between celebrating success and confronting what still needs work. International observers see Japan not only as a success story, but as a living laboratory for how sustainability targets evolve after the headlines fade. The next frontier isn't just cutting waste, it's designing systems that keep reductions permanent, equitable, and integrated across every part of society. If you are interested in lessons from Japan's food waste journey, consider subscribing to ESG Japan Daily, where we explore sustainability trends in Asia and beyond. So here's our question for you. Japan has achieved a 52% reduction, but what should come next? A. Tighten food supply chain data and tracking. B. Expand education and public awareness. C. Integrate food waste goals into business and health policy. Or D. Reassess the baseline to set tougher global standards. What do you think Japan and the world should focus on next? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching ESG Japan Daily. I'm Mireya. We bring you daily insights connecting Japan's sustainability journey to global ESG realities. See you tomorrow.